Hello. I just wanted to sort of document real quick this stage of my refinishing project that I've been working on. This guitar neck belongs to this body, and this is a year 2000 American Series Stratocaster, which is the first year that Fender introduced that line of guitars. That's a rare color now. That's not offered on the new ones, and it's only offered on artist models and custom models. It's called Hot Rod Red, and it's very sexy. And back to this, I put the final coat on, and I kind of just wanted to show it off because I was real pleased with the outcome that I got. I used cheap rubble and polyurethane, which if I had to do it again I probably wouldn't use because it was a pain to work with. The way I put it on initially was with a t-shirt, and I would rubble on a real thin coat and sand in between. Hold on a second. And that looked really good, and that's the way you're supposed to do it from what I read. But it's so thin that the grain of the wood, the little ridges and indentations of the grain are still there, and you can probably feel them. You can feel them with your fingers as you run them across. And for the last coat, I didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of turned out this way. But I got a foam brush, which people recommend using, but it didn't really work that great for me. In the end, it did, but it's really hard to work with if you don't know what you're doing. And it took me a few tries to get it right. But I used the foam brush, which absorbs more urethane than a t-shirt, and it just, when you lay it on there, the major problem is when you put it on the board and run it down, it runs everywhere and it just falls right out of the brush, and you get this mess that's really hard to control. So eventually I got it right, and a few of these frets I had to redo separately because it was so messy. But the coat's so thick that you can't feel any grain of the wood. It's just like glass. I use semi-gloss because Fender finished these necks in satin, and I wanted it to be as close as it possibly could. Today they finished their necks in clear gloss, which is nice too, but I think I like the satin better. And this is real close. This is a good match. I turn the light off, you could see how smooth it is. It looks like silk. I mean, you're not going to feel any of that wood grain. I have the fret slots taped off too, and that's just so when I put the frets in, that the metal that there's no polyurethane in the way of the metal, and it makes contact with the wood. That way they'll seat properly, and there won't be any high ones. So yeah, I had to tape off the fret slots, which takes about an hour each time. And every time I would mess up, I would have to pull the tape off, sand it down, and then retape it and put a new coat on. And if that one was messed up, I had to redo it all over again. So this is many hours of work right here that I'm happy with. I think it paid off. I think it was worth it. That's all. I'm running out of time. Thanks.